Hello and welcome to the graduation of the class of 2022.
I'm Nila. I'm Nila.
And I'm Natalie.
And we will be MCs for today.
Please remember that this will be live streamed to the homes of our second years all over the world. So remember to turn your phones off and your spirits on for this event. In case of a fire, please move calmly to the exits at the sides and the back of the building. And if you're overwhelmed with emotion, an oxygen mask will drop from the ceiling above you.
So fasten your seatbelts, and without further ado, please put your hands together for the graduating class of 2022.
It's so nice to see so many second years here today. We'd also like to thank a few more people for joining us.
Afsha, the head of the Indian National Committee. Dale, Head of College, and Charlotte, Deputy Head of College.
We would also like to thank all those who are on the graduation committee and planned this whole event. And finally, we'd like to thank the Sodexo staff, without whom none of this would be possible.
Also, please give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Ashok Chatterjee.
Next, we would like to invite Dale, Charlotte, and Mr. Chatterjee to light the lamp.
I see FRS coordinators on the edge of their seats. Don't worry, guys, this is controlled.
Now please give a warm welcome to our head of college, Dr. Dale Taylor, who would like to say a few words.
Just when I was getting ready to settle into that chair. All right, so honorable guest, chief guest speaker, Mr. Ashok Chatterjee, Afshar Sethi, head of the India National Committee, Mahindra United World College Board of Directors and parents who are joining us online, faculty, staff, students, and the class of 2022. It is a privilege to welcome you here today on this momentous occasion to celebrate and bid farewell to our batch of 2022. It is with a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today to humbly deliver a few words this morning in recognition of this year's graduating class. We are here to acknowledge and celebrate 101 young heroes who completed their secondary formal education amidst the pandemic, experimental teaching practices as teachers grappled en masse with teaching online. Also, the logistics of online teaching and learning, and isolation from peers, teachers, and friends as we all struggled to keep ourselves and one another healthy and safe. We cannot underestimate the toll that education during these contexts had on our young people. But you made it. Class of 2022, you must move on and move forward. Stronger, wiser, compassionate, and more empowered to make the world a more inclusive, safe, and sustainable place. This speech is not just to tell you how wonderful you are, how blessed you have been to attend a UWC, or how resilient you have been in the face of COVID. Though you are and have faced all of these conditions, I would like to speak to you about the importance of using all that you have gleaned here at Mahindra United World College to positively impact your wider community for the greater good, which includes using your education as a force to unite people and a sustainable future as far as it will go. Those of you who opted to study history know well the advantages of insight, which can prevent history from repeating itself. You also know the perils of contemporary international politics to see some of the historical horrors repeat themselves right before our very eyes, such as the violent pummeling of Ukrainian cities and the retraction of women's rights in supposedly one of the most democratic countries in the world. We should all be concerned about the potential repealing of the Roe versus Wade decision. If rights can be taken away from one group, they certainly can be taken away from another group. How will you use your education to uphold justice and human rights? Despite starting with us during the pandemic, you have done incredibly well to reach this pinnacle. I find this class to be most interesting, as it is the most diverse group of students I have ever worked with. You're also a group of highly motivated and intelligent individuals who do have strong opinions about the way the world works, the way the world should work, and the way MUCI should operate. It has been eye-opening to see and share multiple points of view with you. I often wonder how such a diverse and exceptional group has come together, and what the universe has conspired in order for all of us to be here at this time and place, to work so diligently together to create an experience that is known as the MUCI experience. I do want to stress that there is no typical MUCI experience, because the experience you have involves the people around you, all who may aid and inspire you in many different ways. And how these people converge varies from year to year. So imagine that the experience with each particular cohort will be very different depending on the particular individuals surrounding you. And as I mentioned before, it is people who most likely impact you and contribute to your experience. Graduates, as you leave the cocoon that is MUCI, I urge you to think about what you have learned here and what you could leverage to further your lives, not just academically in the work world, but in the ways that would allow you happiness, that would allow you dignity, and a chance to be fully expressive of who you are. Think about the essence of you, who you want to be, and what you represent. What are your beliefs? And what do you want to contribute to humanity? The opportunity to attend Muki is rare. You have also had the chance to share and hear various points of view that might be very different to your own. The opportunity to represent those views in a respectful way and also to listen to others with their different points of view, again in a respectful manner, has been a blessing. Given that you have had this opportunity, I ask you, how will you and have impact on the increasingly widening people within the concentric circles around you? Many of you know I love the poetry of Mary Oliver. I adore her poetry because her inspirational messages are universally applicable to all. I think she could very well be referring to Muki at this particular juncture as you end your journey with us and as you reflect on the value of your time here and what you will decide your life to be as you move on. In her poem, The Summer Day, she ends with the lines, quote, "Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me what it is you intend to do with your one wild and precious life," unquote. This is a question to start answering now. You do not have to wait until you've finished university in order to have that impact. You always have a choice as to what you do. But if we are educating for peace and a sustainable future, do you not think that the knowledge and skills that you have gleaned here should be shared with others, especially those who are not so fortunate to attend Muki? We are very much aware that mental health has been a pressing concern throughout your time with us. I also think some of us are starting to see more light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. However, the plight of those suffering with mental health issues has been brought to the fore by your generation, and you have forced us to acknowledge that this is a prevalent issue and we cannot afford to stand by and not address it. Different generations have different values as cohorts, but I would hope there would be similar values stressing respect, courtesy, and manners as well. And I think those behaviors should not be treated in a frivolous manner because the small things can have a huge impact. I remember one summer, many, many years ago, I took a French class, and I took a French class at UBC, University of British Columbia. And we had classes in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we would work on pottery. And one day, I decided to make a pinch pot. It was a tiny little pinch pot, not particularly beautiful to others, but I thought it was a small little masterpiece. And we had to put them on a shelf to be fired the next day. And then as soon as they were fired, we could paint them, and then we can take them home. Okay, so it was with much anticipation I went in the next day to collect my little pinch pot. So when I looked for my fired pot, I saw it had not been fired. And tears welled up in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. The tears, not the pinch pot not being fired. And I thought, okay, I'm an adult. Why am I feeling so bad about this? And the teacher came up to me and she said, "Dale, pourquoi tu es très triste? Dale, why are you so sad? You seem so sad. What's the matter?" And I said, "It's something really, really minuscule and tiny and insignificant about a little pinch pot." And she said to me these words that I'll never forget. She said, "Ce sont les petites choses qui comptent le plus." It's the little things that matter most to us. Respect, courtesy, and manners may be little things to some, but they do matter. They help bind together humanity, and it reflects the character of a person. When you strip away everything, wealth, looks, intellect, possessions, all you are left with is character. So it is the way we speak to each other, it's the way we respect each other, human to human, it's the way we think about other people before we think about ourselves that makes the difference. You are part of what is known as Generation Z. This is a generation that has come of when they are perceived shrinking opportunities for you, post-secondary places and work opportunities. You may find the playing field a little more competitive. However, you must never forget it is collective humanity that will help lift us out of crises and allow us to do some amazing work. So there are always benefits to collaboration over competition. You can accomplish amazing feats when working as a whole community. As part of this cohort, you could potentially have the support of 100 others for years to come. If you keep in touch with friends and connections that you have made here, they can support you over a lifetime. In a recent study that focused on the UWC alumni, it was stated that one of the most impactful aspects of the Muki experience was friendships. I do not mean to cheapen friendships, but you can often leverage friendships to further achieve your goals and ultimately support you in humanistic and emotional ways. And I think that's a beautiful gift to have, especially when people later in life experience a lack of connection with others. Though you will always have each other as a batch, and I would cherish that if I were you, and truly make the effort to stay connected with one another. In 2010, Serena Williams, one of the world's greatest tennis players, said, and I quote, "I really think a champion is defined not by the wins, but how they can recover when they fall. I have fallen several times. Each time I just got up and I adjust myself and I pray and I am able to do better," unquote. What allows you, class of 2022, to get up and do better when you fall? Firstly, do all that you can to get up. Use others as a crutch if you need to. Okay. Use others for support as much as you need, okay? And also, in turn, support others. They will need your help as well. And in closing, I really want you to think about the poem, the Mary Oliver, and what she says about what you will do with your one precious and wild life. It's up to you. You have all the resources you need within you right now. So go forth, create your vision, and make that vision a reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dale. That was so inspiring. I know I, for one, am also excited to see what everyone's next adventure will be.
Next, the man that needs no introduction. You may know him from checking out your library books or stopping you from taking your bag into the reading room. Yeah, you guessed it, Shankar Dada.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I love you all. You will forget all the pain. Second years. You will forget all the pain. Your last day in Muki will not go in vain. হারিয়ে গেছে অনেক কিছু সকাল থেকে রাত হারিয়ে গেছে পাশাপাশি আঁকড়ে ধরা হাত হারিয়ে গেছে টুকরো হওয়া প্রথম প্রেম, হারিয়ে গেছে আমার সেই ছেলেবেলার স্কুল মিলনবাগান শিক্ষা নিকেতন, হারিয়ে গেছে চলতে চলতে বন্ধু কতজন। मन मचल कर मोर होना चाहिए, हंसी का डोर ओपन होना चाहिए। मैं सुनाने के लिए आया हूं कुछ शेर शायरी, लेकिन आप लोगों का तालियों में जोर होना चाहिए। हर पतंग को एक दिन कचरा का डब्बा में जाना ही पड़ता है, हर पतंग को एक दिन कचरा का डब्बा में जाना ही पड़ता है। कचरा का डब्बा में जाने से पहले उस पतंग को एक बार आसमान छूकर दिखाना पड़ता है। किसने दी दस्तक, किसने दी दस्तक ए दिल पर, कौन है, कौन है? आप तो अंदर है, बाहर कौन है? मुसलमानों ने रोजा रखा, हिंदुओं ने उपवास रखा। मुसलमानों ने रोजा रखा, हिंदुओं ने उपवास रखा, लेकिन जन्नत उसी को मिली जिसने मां पास रखा। है अंधेरे देख ले, है अंधेरे देख ले, तेरा मुंह काला हो गया। मां ने आंखी खुली, घर में उजाला आ गया। किसी को घर मिला हिस्से में, किसी के हिस्से में दुकान आई। मैं घर में सबसे छोटा था, मेरे हिस्से में मां आई। I wanted to say a lot of things, but there is a limit time. So I lost my word. Actually, मेरा मन में सजाए रखा था एक सपना, एक दिन म्यू की ग्रेजुएशन स्टेज होगा अपना। मैं आज इधर आ गए तो मेरा सपना पूरा हो गए। A butterfly is the companion of a flower. A star is the companion of a darkness. Likewise, our life is incomplete without Miyuki. आखिरी में मैं यही बोलना चाहता हूँ, हमारी जिंदगी पर्दे में अच्छी लगते हैं। हमारी आंखें सुंदर है क्योंकि उसमें पलकों का पर्दा है। हमारी शरीर सुंदर है क्योंकि उसमें चामड़ी का पर्दा है। हमारी भाषा सुंदर है क्योंकि उसमें भावनाओं का पर्दा है। हमारी जिंदगी सुंदर है क्योंकि उसमें संस्कारों का पर्दा है। थैंक यू सो मच। Best wishes, all the best in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shankar Dada. Words that will stay with us over the summer and beyond.
The next person we would like to call to stage is our guest speaker, Mr. Ashok Chatterjee. Woo. When we were given Mr. Chatterjee's resume, it became very clear to us that there simply wasn't enough time to go through all of his accomplishments. But to summarize a few, Mr. Chatterjee was Executive Director of the National Institute of Design, the first Director of the Indian Institute of Management, part of the Rahul University team, as well as Honorary President of the Crafts Council of India, and on the board of Aid to Artisans. He's worked in education throughout his career in a number of very interesting NGOs and institutions. So please give a very warm welcome to Mr. Chatterjee.
Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction. I have to just make one correction. I have never been the head of IIM. My colleagues at the IIM would be very upset. They thought I was grabbing that. But thank you for this very generous introduction. It's great to be here. I visited Newquay, I guess about 10 or 12 years ago. It's wonderful to be back, and particularly to see you having come through these really incredible 2 years which we've all had to survive, and to go forward into a world which is so full of uncertainty. What that bio didn't have, fortunately, was a little bit which seems to have leaked out, because your colleagues who took me around the campus yesterday said, how come you were thrown out of the first school you went to? Well, I was. And if I'm invited here as the graduation speaker here, you can see that causes are not always lost, right? But I was just wondering, I graduated in 1951 from a school that shares many of your values and is also inspired by hills. I'm talking about a school called Woodstock in Missouri, where I was born and raised. But I graduated 71 years ago. So what on earth can someone who graduated 71 years ago say to you that is relevant? For example, imagine any one of you coming to this platform 71 years from now to address the graduating class of 2093. What would you say? What would your audience expect from you? So 1951 was a long, long way ago, and so much has changed. But sometimes people now talk about that era as if it was the good old days, when everything was secure and we seemed to know what was happening around us. My first advice to the graduating class of 22 is to realize there never were any good old days. There were good days, bad days, and all the in-between days. But there was never a time that was perfect. In fact, in 1951, India had just come through a powerful independence movement, but also the tragedy of partition. We lost some of our closest friends because they moved across the border, and we were never to see them again. Everything was topsy-turvy. Tibetans were fleeing Tibet and coming into our town. Nothing seemed to be permanent. The British were leaving. What was going to happen? Would this country succeed or would it fail? And the world has changed. And there are huge achievements and there are huge, colossal failures. Both. And as you've just heard from the other speakers, it's up to you to try and balance this. You guys have opportunities that my generation could never dream of. I was told yesterday that my young friend was thinking about a gap year. When I finished college, if I even mentioned that a gap year would be quite nice, I think I would have had a gap in my head. That was unheard of. The choices were few. The biggest concern was security, to somehow be safe in a world which was changing so rapidly. Technology, competition, globalization of which this institution is part, has brought both good and bad. COVID is a classic example of what the cost of globalization. But there have been many others. But something happened which I think you don't know because you were outside this morning, and something which I think is hugely significant. Somewhere at the back here, I think is the symbol of UWC, which fell off the wall and crashed. And the two halves of this beautiful world, united by those rings, came apart. And that was happening just before you were to walk in and graduate. And then what happened? The UWC community, in no time flat, put it back together again. Right? And to me, there's something quite prophetic about that. From what your Dale has said and what you heard from your respected librarian, you have an enormous strength to put all the broken pieces together. And there are so many broken pieces, not just by COVID, but by so much else. And you're going to be surrounded by choices. And I think the really important thing for you is how will you make those choices? The other thing that's different is my grandson, about your age, graduated a few weeks ago from Riverside School, and speaker after speaker asked these kids to listen to their heart, to follow their dream. Nobody ever gave us that advice 71 years ago. Nobody. You were told just to get on with it, to make the best of it, pull up your socks, don't moan, get out there, earn some money, be stable, good luck. But you have all these incredible choices, including to follow your own heart. When I was preparing to come here, I was looking at on the net to see what are the values and what was the sort of the core of the UWC experience. And I came across words like education as a force to unite people, peace, sustainability, social change, no matter what path you take, diversity, compassion. I underline that word, compassion. We heard that just now in what you heard from your leader, which means concern and caring for others. Service, and also I think I read a reference to role models. So you're going to be role models, and role models for who? And if you turn up here in 2093 to address another bunch of graduates, you will be the role model that they will be asked to follow. Now when MUCI was started, and maybe before that, there was nothing really revolutionary in those words. They were accepted as values on which this republic was founded, on which the United Nations was founded, on which Gandhi spent his whole life and gave up his life to defend. But today, those words in your value statement are dynamite. They are no longer the ground that we can claim to be standing on. Those are words which have to be defended daily. in this uncertain world. About, I guess, 15 or 16 years ago, Woodstock, my alma mater, went on a marketing expedition, and they came up with a slogan about why should people come to Woodstock. And they came up with the phrase, education for a world of difference. And the meaning for that was that the alums that would leave Woodstock would go out and would make that difference. Some of us alums were talking about this phrase just last week. And now it's taken another meaning. Education for a world of difference now also means that the world out there is so different from the bubble, the cocoon, the word that was used, the wonderful secure environment that schools like this provide. And out there is very different. So education for a world of difference also means that you have to be able to cope with that difference, not be shattered by it. And everything that you've learned here and experienced here and that you will continue to experience and draw on each other will challenge that. So how will you do it? How will you make those choices? One of the greatest economists of our time, Amartya Sen, has described development, which is a word I'm sure many of you will be hearing for the rest of your lives. But what on earth is it? And Amartya Sen said that development is the ability to make choices and the ability to realize at least a few of the choices you make, which means that development is about empowering people. And as you've just heard from your leader, you have that responsibility to empower others, to share what you have learned with others. And how could you do that? Well, one way is a simple management tool. Maybe you've experienced that in your school life, I don't know. It's called SWOT. You look at a situation, you decide what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what the opportunities are, and what the threats are. Try it out sometime when you feel that you really don't know which way to go. And you will realize what enormous strengths and what enormous opportunities this campus and maybe so much else in your life has given you. The weaknesses and threats will be there, but that you, as you heard from Dale, there you have this extraordinary strength of a community. I don't know how many thousands there are in the UWC community around the world, but this is your strength, and hang on to it. Hang on to it, because that will see you through. The ability of alumni to stay together is something absolutely extraordinary. And I can tell you that 71 years after we left school, the few of us who are still around hang on to each other almost on a daily basis. And it helps us to get through, particularly these last couple of years, when we've been back, thrown on our own resources and our own memories, and we've realized, every one of us, no matter how young or how old we are, of what really counts. Yesterday, I noticed that some of you were sitting up on a roof. I was told that was the sunset point, right? It's where you look out for the sunset. And I have wondered to myself whether a few nights ago any of you were sitting somewhere to look at the full moon. It was a very special full moon because it was Buddha Purnima. And I think for you and your generation, as for mine, we need to come back to this man, Gautam Buddha. He never gave any answers. If he was to give a graduation speech, he would just be asking questions. He gave no answers. But what he did say is what you've heard today from others. Look within yourself to find your own path. So, congratulations to all of you. At the end of the day, no matter how many degrees you get, no matter how many wise or foolish people you have to listen to, at the end of the day, there are really only two things that really matter: caring for this planet and caring for each other. That is it. There's nothing else. And I think that's what this school stands for. That's what your UWC movement stands for. And I'm sure that's what you will be role models of when you go out from here. So God bless, good luck, and may you return as role models. Thank you.
Those were some inspiring words, Mr. Chatterjee. And once again, thank you so much for taking out time to join us here today. It means a lot to our whole community.
Next, we have a performance by our very own Sky, Jaichin, Karan, and Ankita. Please come on stage.
कोई मंजिल है ना कोई साथी है, फिर भी निकल पड़ा हूं घर से। शायद जिसकी तलाश है वही साथी है, वही मंजिल है।
जाने जाना ढूंढे तुझे दीवाना, सपनों में रोज आए आ जिंदगी में आना। जाने जाना ढूंढे तुझे दीवाना, सपनों में रोज आए आ जिंदगी में आना सनम।
ये काली काली आँखें, ये गोरे गोरे गाल, ये तीखी तीखी नजरें, ये हिरनी जैसी चाल। देखा जो तुझे जानम हुआ है बुरा हाल। ये काली काली आँखें, ये गोरे गोरे गाल, ये तीखी तीखी नजरें, ये हिरनी जैसी चाल।
मुझको हुई न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर। मुझको हुई न खबर, चोरी चोरी छुप छुप कर। तब प्यार की पहली नजर है ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई ले गई ले गई दिल ले गई ले गई।
जीवन जीवन दरिया दरिया, एक जो पार करो दूसरा दरिया मिले। सावन बगिया बगिया, यूं भी होता है कि पत्थर पे भी है फूल खिले। सीधे वक्त पड़े बाजी ये तू जीत गया। वक्त मुश्किल था मगर जैसे भी हो बीत गया। आज दुनिया भी तेरे साथ गुनगुनाती है। कल अकेला ही था जो दुख भरा वो गीत गया।
I mean, what can we say? You know, there's nothing. I think it's fitting that you end your Muki careers with one more flash mob. I think it's important. Next, we would like to welcome two Waterford girls that I'm very proud of, Sammy and Tanya, to perform.
Hello. Hello everyone. It's very difficult to top that, and it's also very nerve-wracking to go after it, but we'll try. So Tanya and I wrote this poem on a Saturday trip to Pune, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Muki is a mix of unconventional combinations which surprise you every time. Like cheese and thepla, like breakdowns with mangoes and dad jokes and listening to Anoopji rant while he finds you the least melted ice cream, and even us trying to summarize our 2 years in this poem.
Muki is also home to all types of greetings, from namastes on 4 a.m. trips to the social center, to walking around the AQ in circles on a washroom break. You'll always hear a hi or maybe just a silent nod.
It's a bunch of conversations packed into 2 years, from talking about global affairs to Muki's own local affairs, from the admin blog to all the way to the guidance office, from analyzing Tuesday's lunch menu to pondering over what love is while we stare at each other on a Zoom screen.
Speaking of Zoom screens, we made it through library Discord servers to napping in the reading room. Our virtual reality transitioned into physical one through 14 days of quarantine and just a little bit of moving.
From hotel rooms to guest houses to our own varas, we made it through our personal pandemic, with never-ending songs to keep us going while we get tested, to 1,000 emails a day, and celebrating birthdays in isolation, not to mention the iconic Sodexo food deliveries.
Nothing unites us more than trying times. Sitting in the MPH, dreading mocks, to the actual IB, or even for that matter, some drama, we didn't spend a minute alone. Coming to each other's rescue at odd hours with Red Bulls or noodles, to sharing pieces of our unfinished notes, we've completed an important chapter of our lives.
From studying a math day before, I'm sorry Amit ji, to making the AQ our second corner, to surviving the first blocks with sleepy brains, and learning how to make the perfect Indomie with the right amount of burnt. We've cherished every moment, every lesson, every friendship, every walk taken down the Ghat road, and every sunset watched. With a mix of 1,000 ways of expressing our gratitude, we've all hand-sewn our Muki experience.
These 2 years have taught us a lot more than we anticipated.
Like how to be a bit more of a homo economicus.
How to guess temporal lobectomy in a game of psych charades.
How to value ourselves in Hindi class.
All the way to learning how every day is a beautiful day to write an IB exam.
And most importantly, how to not slip on the internet hill.
It's time to turn the page.
It's time to take forward the countless playlists that will forever remind us of our home on the hill and its stories.
As Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Today is definitely the day to say that. But we did it, we made it, as we pass this down to the ones to come and take a piece of our home on the hill to all the parts of the world. This is a see you again with a heart filled with an endless amount of gratitude and love to all those who made these 2 years unforgettable. So, see you again in random parts of the world.
We had a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy and Tanya. That was lovely.
You know, you leave Muki with so many things. New friends, new confidence, a different worldview, a broadened sense of identity. But maybe most importantly, you leave Muki with your graduation certificate. So next we have the main event, which will be graduation.
So please give a warm round of applause to the Deputy Head of College Charlotte and Head of College Dale to distribute the certificates.
So, what is WADA 1 known for? Yeah. That's common room.
Well, they will be leaving with strong legs, that's for sure, because stairs.
And a passion for My Little Pony.
So now we would like to welcome the man with the strongest legs and the biggest passion for My Little Pony, Matthew Spall.
Thank you, thank you. Is it good to see me or what? I have the great honor of introducing you to a little WADA that's been very good to me. Let's see if you know it. It's WADA 1. Now, this morning I will be exploring the global issue of how a sense of curiosity can develop change makers, and I will be using WADA 1 as the main text. Through the use of repetition, questioning, and figurative language, WADA 1 is characterized as a curious place, as you will see. There are those who believe that WADA 1 has the nicest common room. Is this because it has cold water? Is it true it has a functional kettle? Is that true? Or is it because in that common room at any given time you might find the following people: stick cult people, tech wizards, artists, people who mysteriously disappear at check-in, people who hang around and talk to me for hours at check-in? Is it because of the dancers, the owners of enigmatic smiles, the nocturnal creatures, the gamers, the basketballers? Is it the people who fight for racial equality, the poets, the footballers, light and sound engineers, the professional committee members, and our committed and caring PSG members? All of these can be found in WADA 1. You see, WADA 1 is one of the gems of times gone by, shining forth like a flashing star in the history of Muki, and even now clamoring with a distinctive and personal life of its own. There are those who believe that if another WADA is the heart of all Muki, then WADA 1 is its exaggeratedly overdeveloped calf muscles. This synecdoche suggests all the power walking needed to cross the vast distances between WADA 1 and the AQ to get there on time for class and return in time for check-in. Experience has shown me that this is a virtually impossible task. There are those who believe that we use a paper check-in sheet. Imagine that. There are those who believe that our students are possessed by mischievous spirits, and that after they've gone to sleep at night, those spirits fly disguised in human form to haunt the gentle folk of WADA 4. There are those who believe that I shouldn't prepare my graduation speech at the last minute after WADA clean-up and while walking up to Wags Eye, tired and a little dehydrated. In terms of structure, there are those who believe that WADA 1 is governed by small cats. or by a treacherous first-year student? The truth is that little of the personal growth or fostering of curiosity would be possible without 4 extremely strong stanzas. Our what a faculty, the incredible Paula, Ainoa, Sanidia, and Sandhya. They have put so much time and care into supporting our second-year students, and I am really, really grateful to you all. And the students themselves, protagonists in this drama, who showed curiosity and resilience even to come here in the first place, while their second years were transferring to other colleges, and there was uncertainty about whether we would be able to come here at all. They had hope, and they had belief in us, and I am so grateful to them for this. I believe it was in a speech to the United Nations General Assembly that the great revolutionary philosopher and poet, Princess Celestia, said, "Even the bravest pony may fail or falter." Leaving their friends or themselves in the dark. But no darkness is infinite, and no abyss is too deep to escape. Any pony with hope can rise up again. Now, our WADA 1 student ponies have had moments when they may have felt that they were in the abyss over the last 2 years, but their hope, their curiosity, and their resilience have guided them and helped them support each other to rise up over the last 2 years. This tricolon of qualities, hope, curiosity, and resilience, characterizes our WADA 1 graduates as they embark upon their next magical adventures. So, in conclusion, please remember, friendship is magic, and vamos WADA 1. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Okay, to introduce our amazing students, first of all, I would like to welcome Aria. Abhijit. Ananya. Asif. Bhumika. Berli. Armel. Gareth, who is also accepting his PBC. Pascual. Benjamin. John. The next is Lucas. Lucas, congratulations at home. Mihir. Mikhail. Omar, also collecting his PBC. The next is Pratana. Pratana's not here. Her certificate will be accepted by her friends Nisha and Hang. Ricardo.
Thank you, man.
SK. Soar. Srika. Tisa. And finally, also with a project-based certificate, Tushna.
If you're ever lonely, go to Water 2. You will be sure to see someone studying in the common room, more specifically, someone, or like peer pressured into filming a TikTok, or pulled into a reading circle on the grass.
Or just a really great conversation. So now, to conclude his final year as Water 2 Water Parent, we'd like to invite Reed Pierce to the stage to call in the Water 2 graduates.
Thank you, everybody. And believe it or not, I've been here for 3 years, and this is actually my first proper graduation. So I want to thank Dale, Charlotte, the whole graduation committee, I think all 1,000 of you. Obviously, Arlene, everybody, too many people were involved to make today the wonderful day that it is. I also want to thank, it's really, the job of the WADA parent would basically be impossible if it wasn't for our WADA adults. So I want to thank, who to start with? Shiva, obviously. Rinny, Kiara, Sky, Irena, Saad. I think we have a lot too. We also have a lot of cats in WADA 2, so thank you, cats. But, what is WADA 2? And I've been thinking about this. I was thinking, I don't have a revolutionary quote from some celestial pony, but I was going to quote the Beatles earlier. I was going to say, all you need is love. And love is the word that defines Wada 2 for me. But I changed my mind last night when I was woken up. I fell asleep to the dulcet tones of Rick Astley singing Never Gonna Give You Up. And I actually started thinking about it this morning as I was literally writing my speech at the last minute. I realized that that song actually encapsulates so much of what Wada 2 is all about. Bear with me. He is singing to perhaps a loved one we don't know, but think about it like this. What are you not going to give up? You're not going to give up those memories that you had in Wada 2. You're not going to give up the love that you feel for one another. You're not going to give up those memories of, say, making portraits of each other in the Wada common room that may or may not look like the people intended. You will never forget painting literally every single surface that could be painted. Obviously cooking endless meals, and for some reason the rest of the community coming to Wada 2 to cook as well. But you're not going to forget the love that we have. And I think we talk about love a lot, and what does that word actually mean? And I think it means respect for each other. It means listening and understanding to each other. I think, Wada 2, and I don't like to say we're the best Wada. I think all Wadas are good in their own ways. But Wada 2, I do know this. You touched my heart in ways very few have. You have shown me what true love looks like, and we talk about that from listening to each other, from understanding each other. I know that you'll never forget the memories where you shared late night stories or hopes and dreams, and yes, even sadness, but it's those times that come together. And I realized that Wada 2 is not necessarily a physical place. And when we think about it, you were the only batch that started Muki not on Muki's campus. You actually started Muki virtually. And for you, for say 3-4 months, Muki, or Wada 2 in particular, was a virtual Wada. And I think that proves that Wada 2 transcends borders. It transcends time and space, if you will. So there is a celestial aspect to it. But Wada 2, literally, this is just one chapter ending in your life. A whole world is opening up before you. And before you walk the stage, I want to share, I suppose these are 3 simple maxims or mottos I try to live by. The first is be here now. Be in the eternal now, if you will, because this is all we have. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow doesn't even exist yet, and it certainly won't look like you think it will. If you had asked me 5 years ago if I'd be giving a speech here on this stage when I was working in Sydney, I would have said you're out of your mind. So never think that you know what tomorrow holds, and truly try to live in the present moment. That's all you can do, and that's all you have. The next one is be love now. And I keep talking about love, but what does that actually mean? It means not just love for your fellow man, but love for all sentient beings, love for nature. And truly we have to realize that we are United World College. We're united as a world, and what brings us together is love. It's the one force that can actually unify and bring people together. And lastly, and I always say this, I say this in my history class, be bold now. Don't wait for tomorrow to do something. Be proactive. Go out there and do something. I swear you'll never regret just being bold with life and taking chances and taking risks. And so for the final time, I want to say, who are we? Who are we? What makes the peace grow? Unga, unga, unga. Unga, unga, unga. Thank you very much. Class of 22, I love you very much. 2022. And so now it gives me great pleasure. Okay, Anand, congratulations. Ashna. Congratulations. Oishi. Armeet. Dala. Era. Fiona. Hong. Jigyasha. Kavya. Madhav. Marsha. Renal. Priya. Ramulito. Stepanka, I'd also like to congratulate you on the project-based certificate. So thank you. Congratulations. And last but not least, Vedant.
Where to begin with WADA 3? When they put their minds together, they can accomplish anything. Maybe not winning Muki Olympics, making it to fire drills on time, or cleaning the common room sink. But no hate, WADA 3, you know what you have is very special. There's a lot of love there. So,
Please welcome from deep within the heart of the Muki jungle, WADA 3's WADA friend, Karen Russell.
Woo!
Good morning. Before I begin my own speech, I have a few words for the graduating class of 2022, especially those in WADA 3, from an old friend overseas. Hello to the amazing graduating class of 22, your brilliant faculty, and all the wonderful people on the Hill. WADA 3, I can hear you rumble today. Congratulations. This is your big day, and I hope you enjoy every minute of it, drink it in, and have it to remember as you go out into the world. I am so happy and proud for you all and sending you love. I am watching you right now, online, from far away, and will be applauding you all as you walk your way across the stage to get your diplomas. I know you will all go on to do great things, and I wish you luck in all you do. And if you happen to be in Europe, drop me a line, turn up at my door. You know there will always be a welcome and a cup of tea for you. Love from a very proud Kath and David. Kath, David, you left WADA 3 in such a strong place when I joined. We are all sending you love and gratitude as you watch us from France. And now, to the WADA 3 graduating class of 2022, from me. You've made it. After 2 long years of switching between online and face-to-face learning, of quarantines, of malfunctioning laundry equipment, of making Indomie and Maggi and hummus and waffles and other delicious dishes, of WADA dinners and breakfasts, of improv games, pregnant cats, dance practices, WADA concerts, uncontestable Muki Olympics victories, dress code pranks, long marches to the cafeteria, and even longer marches to fire drills, attacks on our common room from within our own ranks, a change in WADA parents. After all of this, you have made it to the finish line. I joined the WADA 3 community only 9 months ago, and I had a lot to learn. About WADA parenting, but also about this specific group of young adults. I needed to learn the nuances of uptown and downtown culture, the moves for our renowned chant, and how to navigate difficult conversations with a passionate and spirited group. The biggest thing I learned, however, is that I do not care for this community alone. They look out for each other, too. To me, nothing proved this better than the great isolation of 22. Yes, we were separated from one another, isolated in our own houses for nearly the entire month of January. But this was also the time when we saw housemates finding new ways to bond with each other, and roommates looking out for each other, and an amazing team of WADA adults, Dechen, Alejandro, Ravina, Carl, Anupama, as well as our security guard, Sandeep, checking in on you every morning and every evening while I, too, was isolated. Difficult times test us, but they also transform us. And as you cross over the finish line into the world beyond Muki, I hope that the happy times and the hard times both will make you even more compassionate, caring, and resilient. And wherever you go, remember your home. Deep in the heart of the Muki jungle, you can hear WADA 3 rumble. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. Deep in the heart of the Muki jungle, you can hear WADA 3 rumble. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. Deep in the heart of the Muki jungle, you can hear WADA 3 rumble. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. Go, WADA 3, go, WADA 3, go. WADA 3, it has been an absolute honor. Thank you and congratulations. And now to present the WADA 3 class of 2022, first up is Ayan. Ayan, congratulations. Next, Aditya. Congratulations, dude. Ariha. Congratulations, Ariha. Daniel. Congratulations, Daniel. Henok.
Congratulations, Henok.
Ian. Ibrahim. Ismail.
Congratulations, Ismail.
Thank you. Next, also receiving her project-based certificate, Mira. And next, Mila.
Congratulations, Mila.
Miri.
Congratulations, Mary.
Also receiving his project-based certificate, Ayman.
Congratulations, Ayman.
Moises.
Congrats, Moy.
Omar.
Congratulations, Omar.
Also receiving her project-based certificate, Rishika. Sally.
Congrats, Sally.
Samarth.
Congrats, Samarth.
Also receiving her project-based certificate, Shreya.
Congrats, Shreya.
Siddhant.
Congrats, Siddhant. Boom. Yeah.
Swani.
Congratulations, Swati.
Tanish.
Congrats, Tanish.
And last, Varuni.
Congratulations, Varuni.
It's been said in the press that WADA 4's only personality trait is that we won Muki Olympics.
Anyway, so please welcome WADA 4's WADA parent, Zina.
Well, well, well. Not only the WADA Olympics winners, but we are also the heart of this college. So we are here as WADA 4. 4's Wada meeting used to be so intense that I promised my kids today that my speech is going to make sure that they cry. Because it has to be about UWC values, you know? It has to be about what and how they have become UWC ambassadors in these past 2 years. So let's take you back on August 9, 2020, Wednesday, at 5 p.m., I logged into Zoom to have my first WADA meeting with the students of 2022 batch. By now, our world had shrunk and become a system. Every side of our life had become a computer program, and actual people had become little windows on my screen. I was never fond of computer programs, you know? And I thought I'd never miss it once I leave them behind. But here I was, dealing with a system again, and afraid of not being good enough. But then I discovered a whole new phenomenon right there on my computer screen, where some of the most amazing people from around the world gathered to be a part of WADA 4. People with wonderful understanding of different systems, of different cultures, different programs with different and unique ways of seeing the world, and ready to accept me and other adults of WADA 4 as one of them, and be patient with us when we deal with them with our very bad tech skills. I'm so sorry, I'm so emotional. I know, I love you too. Well, we were getting ready to be a part of this new world which was known as WADA 4, 2022 version. I use the word different so many times here just to emphasize the fact how different my WADA 4 kids are. And maybe I am biased, but I feel like we got more than our share of the wonderful people at WADA 4. December 8th, 2020, life changed again for us, and we got an opportunity to share our system with each other when we welcomed our first student on campus after COVID, who was from WADA 4. December 31st, 2020, the people from my computer screen became a part of my life. I was afraid again, but all my WADA 4 people made me feel right at home. Because all of us were misfits in our own ways, but when we came together, we felt like we had finally found our mother system. One with our own special language, right, change makers, UWC ambassadors, community living, personal and shared responsibilities, or freedom to choose. Actually, Muki is what you make of it. And then our own special rituals, going into quarantine and coming out of quarantine, right? The 2 a.m. common room cooking, looking for people during check-in so that I don't send email to On the Hill. Our WADA anthem, inspiring words so that we win the Muki Olympics. Talking about physics, bio, math, literature, the meaning of life, or simply questioning the existence of everything. We even had our own language sessions, where I just spoke in Hindi, and people taught me how to use sus when we were not too sure about a COVID protocol. And people also taught me the word legit when we thought how important it was to use WADA kitchen responsibilities. And maybe low-key, when people were not really motivated for laundry, I also learned the word side chick when we were seen spending a lot of time with WADA 1 unicorns. And all that really is what creates the WADA 4 spirit for me. We're smart, very smart. We're a little bit crazy, but we all look out for each other and made sure that everyone feels safe and welcome. That's what made this a true system that no one could hack. And we can be proud to say that Andrew's skills, Catherine's arts, Mansi's management, and Ankita's enthusiasm became the cover of our system. So So my WADA adult and I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our kids. You are a very special part of our lives and always will be. No matter how far you go, how long you take to get there, and make no mistakes, because you all will go very far. And the journey won't always be this easy. The thing is that this system that we have created here is a rare program. It is easy to fit in when you are surrounded by people just as wonderful as you are. But now, you're going out into the world. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who live life according to a checklist defined by the society, which they never question. They will call you idealistic, advise you to be pragmatic, to fall in line just like they have done. And if you follow their lead, then this system will one day become just a faded dream you look back on fondly with nostalgia. December 13th, 2021. For the winter dinner, I shared a table with Matthew, Paula, Ainoa, and Charlotte. And that was also the evening when WADA 4 was announced the winner of the Milky Olympics. We all were applauding WADA 4 when suddenly Matthew recalled a memory and said to Paula, "Do you know what Zenith said to me when we were starting the Milky Olympics?" "What did she say?" Paula asked curiously. Matt looked at me and said, "Zenith told me, 'See you at the bottom of the chart, Matthew.'" And look, they won the Milky Olympics after all of these years. Ainoa, who was listening to this conversation, turned to me and said, "Zenith, what are you doing? Creating monsters in your WADA?" I went home thinking that you guys were my favorite monsters. You were kind, considerate, understanding, respectful, helpful, and most importantly, you were my kids. But I did question the importance of winning and being on top of the chart. Is that it? Or there is more to it? And if there is, then what is it? May 20th, 2022, I also wrote my speech last minute, just as the other WADA parents. So yeah, but yeah, I know that it's better than the others. So back to my speech. You know WADA 4? Each one of you carries a piece of this unique system with you. When you step out of it, it's up to you to build up on it and keep it alive wherever you go, whatever you do. And when the voices from outside start to get too loud, you can always reach out to people who are standing beside you. Because they may be on the other side of the world someday, but they'll still be only a Zoom call, a messenger, or a WADA 4 messenger call away. The bonds you have built within this system will give you the strength to create new systems and new programs out there. Because if you keep the spirit of learning alive inside you, then it will start infecting the world around you. It will take time and effort, but that's the only way to turn the whole world into the kind of system you have created here and lived in here, because that's the whole purpose of Milky, to show you that it's possible to build a world like this. This is not just some utopian ideal. So everything really is possible if we make it possible. So I hope you all go very far, even though I will miss you a lot. I hope that when they ask you what language do you speak, and you say with pride, WADA 4 2020, 2022 version, because that's what I will say too. Now presenting WADA 4 22 class, Arogya. Ananya. Are Satya. Denzel. Ela. She's also receiving her project-based learning certificate today. Ishita. Hida. Kali. Cornelia. Manali. Nisha. Paloma. Rahul. Samriddhi. Shayak. Sadan. Smriti. Sibella. Tanya. Mendril. Ulysses. Vedangi. Vishal. And Yutong. Ananya, Ela, Paloma, Vedangi, Yutong, they also received their project-based diplomas.
Okay, so let's talk toilets to person ratio. Water 5 has the highest with, averaging 2 people to a toilet.
This may not sound significant, but I come from Wada 4, where the toilets are less reliable than global affairs attendants. And I've always been jealous of Wada 5's toilet to person ratio. To introduce our Wada 5 graduates, a Wada parent that is beginning a new adventure at the same time as our graduates, please welcome Amita ji.
Thank you so much. Just some clarifications. We didn't win Muki Olympics because some Wadas may have more number of people, but trust me, can anyone outshine us in Wada spirit? Has any other Wada ever won more points in Wada spirit? Thank you. All right. All right, so this is an overwhelming moment for me. It feels as if it's my graduation. Of all the roles that I did in Muki, being the Wada parent was and is the most fulfilling. It's like, there is a beautiful garden with 24 bright flowers that I was tending to, nurturing, and making sure that each one of you is able to make the most of the Muki experience. The check-in reminder became one of the most important acts of the day. And even my family used to hurry up for dinner knowing that I had to go for my check-in. You have special gratitude to this community as you adjusted to the community needs during the December resurgence of COVID. And I thank you for this community spirit. Thank you so much, Wada 5. The messages and the goodbyes from each one of you and the warm mist farewell that we said to each other as I checked you in for the last time on this campus last evening would make this my brightest memory on this campus. I would turn back to it when I would feel low, and am sure that the amazing memories and friendships that you have formed here would be your brightest memories to cheer you up as you get into different universities, communities, and chase your dreams. Each one of you has been super duper special. Observing you dealing with challenges, you have taught me a lot. Deepak, click your best pictures. Gembo, my forever hungry soul, may you find the best restaurant wherever you go. Chasing some of you to be back on time, Selma's love for the internet hill. And guess, every time her watch stopped when she was right up there. Melin, thankfully COVID is going, right? And the pool is open. Yeah. Guan Xingyang, do not forget, okay, so he's the lifeline of Arvada, and do not forget, when you give your first screen test, remember I debuted with you. Sanjana, we will have a virtual deadlift competition one day. Trust me. I wish I could feel as hassle-free and tension-free like Karim and Hashim. They keep life simple always. I cannot forget the quarantining duration or the time when they knew how to entertain themselves. The three of them, including Gembo, just take a frisbee, go to the Wada 5 backyard and play. No complaints whatsoever. So thank you. I also learned that you can try out various flavors before you order, as many times as it takes for you to be sure. ASL. Mariam. I am so happy that we made peace with it finally. Adya, our choreographer. She is, and trust me, if she was a teacher at Muki, you dare not miss the first block. Chiki and Jia, thanks for being part of my story. Vara 5's class of 2020 story. You both are such beautiful souls. Nia, keep cooking up magic. Neo, thank you for being such a confidant for the entire Vara 5. Your calm composure, your empathetic viewpoints, and the discussions when you showed us the picture from the other side, they are really, really valuable. Thank you so much, Neo. Joymer, it is a pleasure to see you grow and mature. I really wish you all the best in all your future adventures. Last but not least, the student is not with us. He was a part of this batch 2020 SEF. A big thumbs up to you and good luck for future. We miss you. Yeah. All right, yes. And as you get on a trot to chase your dreams, I wish you great luck, and always remember, preserve your uniqueness, have an opinion, take a stand, but be respectful of the other viewpoints. Always see your brightest smile whenever you look into the mirror. Shine bright, spread hope, and I will miss each one of you. Godspeed. Five. Thank you for that, Milan. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the class of 2022, Vara 5. Adya Sinha. Arundhati. Deepak Jha, and he also receives his project-based certificate. Gembo. Guanxing Yang. Neo. Hashim. I keep forgetting. Kerim. Jia. All the best. Joymir. Maylin. Mariam, Sanjana, Salma, and here comes my Euclid topper, Nia. Thank you.
Let's hear some noise for the class of 2022. Graduates, how does it feel to have conquered the IB? We love the IB. Next, we'd like to invite Neo and Dala to the stage for the long-anticipated grad speech.
The batch of 2022 is now on strike.
Oh, Dala, that's the wrong speech.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Good morning to our faculty, staff, guests, students, and our loved ones watching from home. I'm Dala, and this is Neo, and we are the speakers for the graduating class of 2022.
Second years, bosses, we made it. After countless flights, many hours of definitely not procrastinating in the library, accumulated packets of Indomie and late night instant coffee, and of course, friendly reminders from Inoa not to cry about your physics exam on Twitter, we have finally arrived at our pens down moment.
We thought a lot about what to say to you today. In fact, we talked about it on the pool lawn while eating coffee shop and drinking nimbu pani, overlooking the panoramic sunset cascading onto the Mushi Valley. So there we are, just a guy
and a girl,
and then it hit us.
This is what Muki is about, collaboration. It's about absorbing the knowledge of your teachers and bringing your own perspectives back into the classroom. It's about sharing the stories of your past, present, and future with your roommates over a cup of chai in 40-degree weather.
Whether you stood on the sidelines cheering as your WADA's FRS tribute ran up the hill for Muki Olympics, or you were the sacrifice that had to run the hill, Muki is about partnership. It's about walking into these gates with an open mind and leaving with an enriched one. It's even about sitting on the library lawn at sunset and sharing music from back home with that one person who turned out to be a lot taller in real life than they were on Zoom.
As a firstie, I arrived on this hill with my blazer and boots, a proud Batch 2 member eager to convert you all into damn Gina Sayers and rooibos tea drinkers. I lived peacefully in my quarantine bubble for a while, until one day I remember seeing Matt walk up to Wog's Eye and thinking, dude, it's 9 a.m. on a Sunday. That's when I realized this place, or rather the people here, were built different. I slowly started to adjust to this life on the hill, making the mind-blowing discovery that Internet Hill didn't actually have internet, and even integrating the occasional chalo into my sentences. It began to feel like home.
Unlike Neo, I was one of the few students who transitioned to campus really late due to delayed travels because of the pandemic. Yet it was challenging to feel like I was missing out while I was home. I remember attending countless chai sessions and listening to someone passionately argue whether water is wet or not, or receiving phone calls from my WADA mates during WADA events, making me feel at home. I also still remember how excited I was after being invited to my first Scribble game as a newbie and trying to convince my friends that the strange-looking figure I drew was indeed a farmhouse. I'm also really grateful to Nipa, who stayed accommodating while I spammed his Gmail about my prolonged visa application. 4 whole months later, it was finally a success. I also extend my gratitude to our administration, both past, shout out to Soraya, and present, that worked tirelessly to ensure we transition to campus. I know one of the most challenging decisions my parents made at the height of COVID-19 was accepting Muki's request for me to travel to India, a place that was one of the epic centers of the pandemic at that time. However, the administration ensured that we did not only make our way home to this hill, but prioritized our health and safety above all. When I did finally arrive on this hill, ready to bask in the glory of all it had to offer, I remember finding it difficult to recognize the faces which had evolved from the square boxes on my computer. I'm really glad that people remained patient with me, asking for their names even after I had met them over 5 times already. Over time, I started to blend in, and I no longer had to walk to space instead of time for my econ classes.
As we continued on our journeys here, we realized that this campus is not so much about what you can bring, but rather about what or who you can become. The UWC movement in its entirety, but Muki perhaps more than any other campus, wholeheartedly depends on the complete dedication of its members to unity, collaboration, interdependence, and freedom. I know in my heart that you all gave this place the very best of what you had. And even though it wasn't always easy, you've given me hope that the UWC mission, unlike our EE deadline, will be met by everyone. I myself can't even begin to encapsulate how much I've changed here. In fact, I think that the only thing that didn't change about me is that I still don't know how to dress weather accordingly.
At Muki, a few of my notable achievements were successfully getting meal from the caf during lunch without having my plate flooded by gravy, because Fudu gave me an indispensable tool. Dada, mujhe chicken chahe par gravy nahi. And like many of you also, I coordinated at least one Triveni. Although I am not necessarily the most amazing dancer, I was able to help other students explore their creative horizons while coordinating the Afro-Latin dance Triveni. As coordinator, I recognized that some individuals found it difficult to perform certain moves in a fixed way. So I allowed them to perform in styles they deemed comfortable while ensuring that we maintained uniformity as a group. It is from experiences like these that I realized that recognizing the differences in others and creating room for the expression of individuality enables people to grow, both as individuals and in a group. So thank you to the batch of 2022 for being influential coordinators. And yes, a special shout out to the FRS training for showing us that with great power comes great responsibility and less Wednesday dinners.
To quote the great philosopher and also part-time rapper, Drake, we started from the bottom, and I think the whole team is finally here. Woo! So to round off this impeccable, galvanizing graduation speech, I think it's only fitting that I say my fair share of thank yous. To my batch, thank you for spinning out of those tiny, extremely pixelated Zoom squares into the most amazing life-size humans I've ever met. As a community, and as critical thinkers, of course, we spend so much time talking about what should change, but I think we should pay a bit more attention to what should stay the same. You've taught me that in a year where the world was more divided than ever, we came together and formed friendships that cross religions, continents, and even conflicts. Whether it's getting that assignment in before midnight, debating the world's most contentious issues, eating 5 rounds of Sunday brunch, a very healthy decision, or getting that bicycle that you kind of regret taking back up the hill, this batch is made up of by far the most determined and ambitious people I've ever met.
I'm convinced that if you manage to work your way around Anupama's plain biology data-based questions, you are better equipped to handle life's uncertainties, because despite never being able to predict the nature of those questions, after consuming the entire syllabus, we managed to make it through. The reality now is that as we embark on many distinct journeyings, life will hand us countless data-based questions, almost certainly one in each of the 6 groups, or even a couple from Milky Core or PSHE. We can have faith not only in our impeccable attendance during those early morning core sessions, but also in the experiences we have gathered on this hill, that we are equipped to solve potential challenges. In Anoa's words, it's always a good day to write a paper. So engage every challenge with a positive spirit. I strongly believe that our determination as a batch is one of the many things that maintain our sense of family cohesion over these 2 years, which was a valuable lesson that you all taught me. Between August and October in 2021, when most of us were desperate for transfers to other UWCs because of delayed travel to India, someone changed our WhatsApp group chat's bio to, "None of you are going anywhere." Back then, this statement remedied the sadness we felt. But now, I feel rather that the statement was a prophecy that we were destined to join this lineage. And yes, we did it. We came, we saw, and we managed to create an oasis of good memories amidst a desert of uncontrolled circumstances.
To our faculty, we thank you for waking up day after day and pouring your energy into us. We hope that we've made you proud. As our teachers, water parents, and advisors, you certainly made us proud. To the staff, we thank you for being the driving force behind everything that happens at Muki. We know we don't say it enough, but you're the unseen heroes of the school. To the campus families, we thank you for welcoming us to a home that was yours before it was ours, and letting us share so much of it with you. We wish the best of luck to our future soccer, not football stars, Darsh and Miran. To the Triveni team and the Med Center, we thank you for always motivating us, especially when we couldn't motivate ourselves. To the guards, we thank you for keeping us safe, especially from snakes, and making us feel so welcomed and cared for everywhere we go. You will always go down as the best cricket team in my mind, don't worry. To the Sodexo team, we thank you for working tirelessly to keep our campus clean and green, and for all the smiles you gifted us during meal times. Your compassion and care has meant so much to us, and we're grateful for everything that you do. Finally, to Anupji, we thank you for making every purchase at the coffee shop a unique experience. Thank you for your kindness, especially when you allow us to come in 1 minute before closing time. And thank you for sharing your warmth with each and every one of us. To every constituent on this hill, Mewkey is you. And it's not the IB that makes it difficult to leave, trust me. It's the connections we've built in every part of these triangular walls.
Now more than ever, I've never felt this confident to transition into the next phase of my life. The UWC movement, like Sodexo, has fed me a wholesome menu, wisdom to mind and love to the soul, enabling me to survive in a dynamic world and coexist with peoples of distinct descents. To the graduating class of 2022, I want you to remember that the ultimate determinant of success does not lie in the pride you have for what you have accomplished, but in the fulfillment you gain from the person you have grown to be. I hope that over these 2 years, you have managed to be humble, because your humility will take you places that your accomplishments may never wander.
A good friend once taught me the saying, "See us before we pass." She meant that we should take all of life's opportunities to make an infinite difference in a finite world. You've all made yourselves seen. I see you, and that's a light I'll carry in my heart for a long, long time.
After today, though our badge may step out of Mewkey's walls, Mewkey does not step out of us. We all carry with us a pouch of memories and a jar of values, making this hill mobile.
The light that every batch leaves behind is what makes Mewkey magic. It's a lineage, and we've just joined the legacy. I believe in every single one of you, and I have no doubt in my mind or in my heart that you will all make absolutely beautiful lives for yourselves. You are prepared for what's ahead, and you have so much more to learn and to share, even if you don't know it yet. So today, instead of goodbye, I say, see you later, alligators. Chalo, the world is waiting for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neo and Dala. That was... Next up, we have a group of people from an area of the world. We have the Latinos. And they're going to be performing for us.
So this performance will be a tribute to Hispano-America.
Latin America.
Yes.
Dos. Hola, hello. It's a big pleasure to be here with my beautiful Latinos, my co-years, and my wonderful, talented study persons. Ha sido un honor haber compartido este tiempo con ustedes. Un año parece poco, pero he aprendido mucho. We'll perform a tribute to Latin America, a song composed and sang by Mercedes Sosa, a referent of Latin American music. And Paloma will read a wonderful poem that also adds a lot to the meaning we want to give. Also, te amo, mami.
Nuestra riqueza ha generado siempre nuestra pobreza para alimentar la prosperidad de otros. Los españoles tenían la vaca, pero eran otros quienes bebían la leche. Esta ciudad, condenada a la nostalgia, atormentada por la miseria y el frío, es todavía una herida abierta del sistema colonial en América. Naturalmente nacida para producir alimentos, pasa a ser una región de hambre. El dios de los parías no es siempre el mismo que el dios del sistema que los hace parías. Un hombre es más barato que su tumba. Los países pobres exportan su pobreza. La historia no ha dejado de ser para nosotros una muestra cruel, y en la palabra cruel radica el meollo del asunto. Los latinoamericanos somos pobres porque es rico el suelo que pisamos. Cuando el Estado se hace dueño de quien es cuando corresponde preguntarse quién es el dueño del Estado. Allá en la mina, huelga de hambre siempre hay. No más nacer y ya empieza la huelga de hambre. Aunque sonrían las estadísticas, se jode la gente.
Salgo a caminar por la cintura cósmica del sur. Piso en la región más vegetal del viento y de la luz. Siento al caminar toda la piel de América en mi piel. Y hay en mi sangre un río que libera en mi voz su caudal. Sol de Alto Perú, rostro Bolivia, sal y soledad. Un verde Brasil, besa mi Chile, cobre y mineral. Subo desde el sur hasta la entraña América y total, pura raíz de un grito destinado a crecer y estallar. Todas las voces, todas las manos, toda la sangre puede, canción en el viento, canta conmigo, canta, hermano americano, vive a tu esperanza con un grito en la voz.
Vegetal del viento y de la luz, siento al caminar a la piel de América en mi piel, y anda en mi sangre un río que libera en mi voz su caudal.
Todas las voces, todas las manos, toda la sangre puede ser canción en el viento. Canta conmigo, canta, hermano americano, vive a tu esperanza con un grito en la voz. Muchas gracias. Gracias. Now, it's for me a pleasure to present to all of you, the community, this ugly and rusty guitar that you have been hearing throughout all the concerts. This is the Latino pass down, and was given by Luis. There was a generation of 2009. So this guitar has been here for a long while. And for Ulises, Pascual, Rómulo, Paloma, Ricardo, Michel, and I, has been a more than an honor to have it in our hands. But now we have to pass it down. And for me, this it has a lot of meaning. It represents the soul of Latin America, the voices of the people that cannot talk and that has been muted and silent for many, many decades. So esta guitarra, va para todos ustedes, queridos. Vengan, abrazo. Venga, venga.
That was a wonderful performance. Let's give them a whoop whoop.
Next, we would like to invite back Dale to say some farewells. No?
Oh, okay. No, I'll just.
All right, thank you for your patience. You know, there's this quote that we all hear about in development circles and in our home countries about it takes a village to raise a child. And I also think it takes a city to run a school. And more than that, my predecessor always used to tell me, Mewkey is like a small country. And I could very well believe it. A college cannot run without the dedication, hard work, and expertise of various individuals. And I would like to thank the following people for being part of our community and for their contribution to Mahindra United World College over the past few years. And also, I'd like to thank them for their dedication in contributing to the education of our students. To the faculty who are leaving, they are Charlotte, Sarita, Andrew, Rini, Anupana, Marta, Catherine, and Amita. Can you stand up, please? And let's give them a warm round of applause. Thank you again for all you have contributed to Mewkey. And I love to use this quote because it absolves me of any responsibility. And that is, teachers are the greatest correlate of student success out of anyone in the building. So thank you for all you have contributed to our students and their success. I'd also like to acknowledge the staff who are leaving. Tushar, who's head of campus infrastructure. He'll be with us for a few more months, but he's chosen to retire and go down under. I wish you all the best, Tushar, and thank you for keeping Mewkey safe, holding people accountable, and trying to professionalize the environment. Thank you. Stand up. I don't know if Jayshree is here. I'd like to acknowledge Jayshree. Stand up. Jayshree has not only been our registrar, she has been the holder of a lot of data and a lot of information. And I don't think you all know this, but Jayshree is a master of comparative data and crunching all numbers and figures and creating the charts to show us where we're heading. And for that, we're eternally grateful. Thank you, Jayshree. Okay. Arlene will be leaving us this summer, and Arlene has literally been a right hand to me in terms of all that she has done to make sure that we're on task, in terms of reporting to the board, in terms of the graduation, and all the daily events that she takes care of to make sure that the head of college office operates smoothly. Arlene, you will be missed, And thank you so much for all that you have done. Arlene? To the faculty and staff who are leaving, we wish you all the very best, and know whoever receives you are very lucky to have you. Thank you, and thank you for all you've done for us. Sorry? Okay. We already said our goodbyes to them, but if anybody wants to recognize them at the lunch, we're happy to do so. Okay? All right. So could the MCs come back up, please? Thank you.
Amazing. To all the staff and faculty leaving, you will be so missed. It's hard to imagine campus without you, and we're so thankful for your time here. And on that note,
Please welcome Charlotte to share with us some words of gratitude.
When I speak, so bear with me. But first, thank you for inviting me to close the ceremony with a vote of thanks. My first thank you goes to the unique students of class 2022. Congratulations. I'm so darn proud of you. Thank you for being who you are. The last 2 years, we have traveled together down the road of town hall meetings, online academic fair, Zoom classes, core discussions, Treveni service activities. We have come very far as we sit here today without masks and no longer physically distanced. Yes. And with just a few COVID protocols. Arrival on campus was delayed until December in your first year, and you spent your first winter break right here in quarantine. Some of you on our beautiful hills, and some of you in a hotel. What I remember is very clearly the first hike I went on with some of you. We were almost at the very top of the beautiful, historically significant Tungi Fort, when one of you pulled out a razor and started shaving off another student's hair. It was both hilarious and not. I was enjoying nature, and now I had to wear my disciplinarian deputy hat. Why someone had brought along a razor on a hiking trip can perhaps best be explained by the fact that at that time you were living with rather tight COVID protocols, and you were not allowed to cross into other people's waters, go into each other's room, and if you were sharing a razor, it would have to be sanitized first. That was not possible on Tungi Fort. I would say this experience set the stage for the rest of your time here on campus. I would say the class of 2022 tend to question rules and protocols, push boundaries, finding loopholes, and being creative and also working on solutions. So with that, I urge you to dream big. Most, if not all of you sitting here today, you started dreaming big when you applied to the UWC movement, because you are a part of a global movement. I urge you to continue to dream big as you step beyond the Miyuki gates. Dream big about what you want to accomplish in life. And with big dreams come failures, but learn from your failures so that they become your building blocks. Dream big about where you want to go, the places you want to visit, the places you want to explore. Dream big about the difference we all need in our world. Dream big in the spirit of peace for all. Dream big because when you do, it is likely to benefit a greater number of people and have more lasting and positive impact on others. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your Miyuki journey. I have learned so much about myself in the process of working to support you. Keep your friendships alive and stay in touch. And remember to find ways to live and practice, yes, the UWC values. You might be tired of me referring to the UWC values, but I do think they are very important and have guided me well during good and difficult times and been my reference when a hard decision had to be made. Thank you to all the staff and faculty members for teaching and supporting the batch of 2022 and supporting and teaching me too. You make this hill magical and very special. Also, thank you to our special guest, Mr. Ashok Chatterjee. It was very inspiring hearing you talk about dropping out of school and yet so many years later having founded and created so many opportunities for others being here on the stage. Thank you for sharing your experience. Also, thank you to the chair of the Indian National Committee, Ms. Afsha Sethi, who joined us today. I am really pleased to see you being here to celebrate the graduation of the INC students. Thank you to all the performers. It was an impressional showcase of all the talents that we house on our special hill. And thank you to each and every one of the Sodexo people who never stopped to impress me with their hard work, their smiling faces, and their friendliness. Thank you, most of all, to all the families and friends, former teachers who are watching, national committee members, and alumni who are watching the graduation 2022 live stream. We hope you have enjoyed the ceremony and the performers. Thank you for all the constant support to your students and our students. It has not gone unnoticed. Thank you to the members of the graduation committee, the students, and especially Avdesh and his incredible team. It has been a perfect day so far. Again, thank you to the class of 2022. Maybe pushing boundaries is what will make a change in this world, so keep on pushing boundaries. And I'd like to end with a quote by Roy Bennett. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your hearts. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I feel gratitude. We've made a lot of jokes here today, but we've been given a 2-minute slot to speak from the heart.
Yep, so here it goes. Because of COVID, your time here was maybe not what you read in a pamphlet or heard from an album. But as an outsider to your batch, know that constantly dealing with unprecedented circumstances has fostered a balance between patience and reasonable dissent that is so inspiring to us.
The IB, Core, Triveni, the requirements of Muki have taught me a lot, but I've grown more as a person from knowing any of you than in all those areas combined. The first-year class will leave this campus better because we knew you.
Although it may have seemed like a simple friendship or a conversation or a game, know that your change-making has already started because of the way you've changed us.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, you always have this Muki community to fall back on. Don't trouble yourselves with time zone math. We're never more than a phone call away.
So now, to finish off this event, a last performance by our lovely Ashna Rai.
Can I be heard? Yes? Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the Light and Sound team for helping me. To the batch of 2022, my beautiful, beautiful friends, from our first virtual flash mob to Kala Chashma and Uptown Funk 2 years ago, to our last Macarena flash mob 2 days ago at the first T's math exam, music, making it and learning it and dancing to it has been such a huge part of our life here. So I am honored to sit before you one last time with the trusty old Muki keyboard and perform for you the songs of the batch of 2022. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. But she caught me on the counter, saw me banging on the sofa. This hit that ice cold, Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. See that girl, watch that scene, taking the dancing queen. Tamanna chani di daruk, chumoyim bar zale bumbaru. Ho jana tu reha mere. Your electric Sara sara, the beat is tana tana. He gon' make you manya manya. Ines si manya manya. O chani di kuri, badala di ben. Sare tenu bijli bijli ken. You're in town. One dress and her and you're in town. And nothing's as amazing as a musical. When I see your story, online dance like this before, we don't talk about it. I got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about. Cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. Watashi wa watashi, anata wa anata to. Nira jaileri soni, nira jaileri soni, nira taile hola maya sanga maya mesoni. Darba lagi langka ku kasana, mantra payanta yang istimewa. Zina, mother tifina. Ana kalbi husna malik alqina. Jenny, Jenny, walking right there. Left should I fuck him out right there. So we are left look bedaita. Jenny, walking right there. Dame de tu vida, de tu tiempo. Suficientes para ver que hum kahan rango sa ye jahan. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, love, I hate to go. Thank you so much.
I don't even know what to say, except announcing lunch. So, first announcement. If you haven't noticed already, there are notes from your parents in your diplomas, congratulating you. Also, so in a second here, we're all going to head out the doors onto MPH lawn. We're going to request the second years to go directly onto MPH, the graduates, to go immediately. Okay, all right. To go out onto MPH steps for a photo op, and on your way out, there's going to be goodie bags on your right, and they're sorted by WADA, so make sure to notice which WADA you're taking from. And then everybody else can go ahead onto MPH lawn for some food and some entertainment. Thank you all, and congratulations to the graduates.
Thank you.